Are you making one of these two of the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make? The first one is that you make a product that you think everybody needs and then you try to sell it. And the other thing is you try to be everything for everyone. Okay, so you've probably heard about niching. And before you jump out of this video because you feel like you know all of this or this isn't going to help you, I have a question. Is your roster full? And if the answer is no, then please stick around because you are going to get a lot that can be tiny tweaks that will fill your client roster. I know you'd rather be scrolling on your feed or doing something else, but let's change the world together. Okay, so why do we need to niche? And it's really because this makes it way easier for folks to find you. It makes marketing way easier. It's way more joyful because you're working with people that you like working with, doing the thing that you like doing. And so many birth workers, doulas, folks that work in helping and healing fields that I consult with, they hate selling because selling feels terrible. Yuck. Anytime in classes, I always say what do you guys think about when you think of selling? And people think car sales, pushy, slimy, sleazy. These are all the words that we associate with selling. Okay, so we want to move past that. Y'all look at my shelves are all empty. I'm moving in a week and a half and I'm getting down to that the house feels sad. Okay, so moving on. We really want to talk about niching so you attract exactly who you want to work with. Now, a lot of people are scared to do this. You're scared to say, I do this for these people because you're worried about excluding folks. If that's you, drop it in the comments so that you can see that you are not alone in this. Usually in our classes, we have between 100 and 200 people in our business classes. And when I ask this, I would say the vast majority of people say that they're well, what about everybody else? Or what about these other people I could help? And they will find you too, potentially through word of mouth or, other means, friends of friends and stuff. But if you have your steady stream, that's who you want to be serving the most. Okay. So, you will have more clients, you will have more joy, you will have more ease. Please trust me on this. I mean, how you do your business is your business is what I always say, but, rest assured, this will help what you're doing. Okay. So in the previous video, right before this, if you check on the channel, I talked about, how we find our dream client, who do we want to work with over and over and over again? Because we spend a lot of time with our clients. On average for fertility, you could be spending 20 to 50 hours with your clients. For births, it's between 20 and 30. For postpartum, it can be sky's the limit. You could be with them every day for months. So we want to be with people, that we enjoy being with. Otherwise, oh my goodness, guys, I've had clients before, which I've said on the channel, I've said in classes, I've said on the podcast, that I've been I wish I could give you your money back and never see your name on my phone again, because it was so terrible because they weren't folks that I wanted to be working with. Okay. So remember these mistakes that I talked about at the top. This is where we make a product that we think everybody needs, rather than making a product that's keeping people up at night, because people buy things that solve their problems. It's what we do. I'm working on a sewing project and I needed mesh. So I was I need mesh. I went to the store to buy mesh. My tire's flat. I go get a flat tire. But I know that I've made things that I think the market needs. I a sibling prep class. It was so good. And that wasn't the pain point that a lot of the folks that were following this had, because we were attracting first-time parents. So we didn't have enough second, third, fourth, and beyond, to have the problem of preparing siblings. So you see what I mean? But I was for the people that do, they'll love this. And then I was trying to fill the class rather than listening, solving a problem, and your classes fill themselves. Your roster fills itself. Okay, so you can see how this will support your business growth. How do we figure out what's keeping people up at night? Well, we listen. So this is part 2. We talked about, who we want to be listening to, and now we're listening for what the problems are. So people are always sharing our worries, their worries. We love to complain. We're such a complaining group of people, and we have a lot to complain about. Don't get me wrong, but like we listen. And sometimes people won't name it directly. So sometimes you kind of like have to read between the lines. But lots of people complain exactly about what's bothering them. And sometimes they'll joke about it, but like those are the things that are actually really stressing them out. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything because this is all very important stuff. Okay, so I would say almost every one of my clients, I would say 99% of my clients have a complaint about one of the mums, like the mother or the mother-in-law, and it's one or both of the clients are complaining. And this could be like managing them, or like they over participate or are not participating. They're walking through boundaries. They're judging. They're not in alignment with the parent or parents to be. And so this is what they're worrying about. So can you think about what your clients are worrying about? Is it about childcare for their other children? Are they worried about their partner making it back because they work away or are deployed? Are they struggling to find VBAC doctors to support them? Are you working with a lot of plus size folks that are running into all the many issues that plus size or fat birthers are running into, such as finding celebratory care, finding baby products, finding people that are not going to have them be high risk because of their weight. These are some of the things. Are like your clients, are you regularly seeing that they're not agreeing? Are you working with high anxiety folks and their partners are frustrated with them? Is one wanting to circumcise and one isn't? Like, what are some of the things you're seeing repeatedly? Some of them are around time off, division of labor, discipline plans. Like those are the kinds of things that I've seen pretty frequently over my 20 years being a doula. Okay, so these are their pain points. There's actually a lot I want to flag too around employment, like trying to finish everything they need to do, being worried about what's going to happen after. For a bit, I was working exclusively with like people who were very career driven and they didn't have a lot of time. So like my pain point I solved was they didn't have a lot of time. So I did everything kind of like crash course style. So like I delivered everything really in like tiny bite-sized chunks. I did a lot of the work. I did a lot of things in like spreadsheets, checklists, like those sorts of things that really appealed to my clients who were like, planning on only taking a couple weeks off and didn't really get to have much time off before they gave birth. So that really appealed to them. Okay, you can see pain point, how I was solving it. Okay, so for those of you that are like, I'm a brand new doula, or I don't have that many clients, or I've only had a couple clients, don't put only in front of it actually. That's awesome. Good for you having clients. So what do you do then? Well, you can listen because people around you are still going to be complaining. You can listen literally anywhere people are trying to conceive if you're doing fertility work, where people are pregnant if you're doing birth work, where people have their new babies or their children if you're doing postpartum work. So that's the grocery store. That's the daycare lineup. That's at the library. That's on the street, on the streetcar, on the subway, like literally wherever there's people, they will be talking. And so listen, you can also listen in some of the virtual groups. So go hang out in some of those spaces and see what people are complaining about. And then start writing down these pain points that you've discovered, because we're going to do something really cool when we're going to put all of this together. So make sure that you have seen the video right before this, where we're talking about the who part. Now we're talking about the what, and then we're going to put them together in the next video. I have really awesome charts that are going to make this like really clear. And so go watch that previous one. Otherwise, we will see it in the next video. Bye, y'all.